Hi, Patrick. How's it going? How you doing today? Welcome to
What's up?
this podcast. Whatever it will be. Honestly, I feel like we just freestyle here and just talk about blockchain stuff and whatever comes to mind. Um, no scripts, no plans, and we'll see what we do with it. We can cut it and edit it later.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Um, do you want to start like with an intro of yourself, and then I do an intro, and then we just hop in?
Yeah, for sure. So, for those who don't know, I'm Noah Naisir. I'm a blockchain developer, mostly in the Flow ecosystem, using Cadence as a programming language. First Flow hackathon winner. I've worked with multiple projects on Flow, creating DAOs, creating NFT collections, creating income launchers, or whatever it is. Um, I am mostly attracted to like non-Web3 products, like trying to onboard non-Web3 people onto Web3. That was my project piece. That's what it was about. It was about creating NFTs out of tweets that people could just collect and support their creators. So that's usually what I do. Right now, I'm working on my own things, and that's me.
Very cool. So I'm Patrick. I'm on the core team for More Markets, which is a main lending protocol on Flow. Been in crypto as a passive user since 2012 and a builder since like 2020. And mostly focused on a lot of social protocols, and I think that's how you and me we met. Building like reputation systems, reward programs, these kinds of things. And we met on the building something on the Flow ecosystem together,
Yeah,
which was really cool. But
building
since then, I
dropfish.
got
Yeah.
building Dropfish, yeah, Dropfish exactly, which was a rewards platform, which was really fun. Hopefully, one day that actually like becomes a bit more relevant.
Yeah, is it still going on? Is Dropfish still going on?
No, it's not really going anymore. I mean, the code is still out there, and I'm pretty sure it's open source, so anyone can use it.
Oh, actually, that would be great because I've been thinking about building reputation systems for a while. I mean, I'm very interested in all of that, like having your interactions on blockchain build up to a certain reputation that you can extract and use for other platforms. I love that idea. Kind of like Karma for Reddit.
Yeah, it's like Karma. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
totally customizable Karma system. What was cool about Dropfish is that it lets you kind of combine whatever data you wanted. So you could use on-chain data and have people verify by signing a transaction, or you could use APIs like OAuth scopes
right.
for Web2 services. So like you could have someone connect their YouTube account and give them a score based on like what videos they watched or how many times they watched them, things like that.
Wow, yeah, that's super useful actually. That's super cool. I wonder why it didn't take off or why people didn't use it more on This is not what I mean.
I mean, I love this product, like, the vision behind it, I think is still really, really relevant. I think that maybe we weren't the right people to carry it. And I also think when we were building it, it was like the very bottom of the bear market.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people,
definitely, yeah, has a lot to do.
yeah,
I feel,
timing is like 90% of the game.
yeah, definitely. You know, the timing thing. I believe that the blockchain space is so new for everybody. Like we as builders are so in it that we're always, aware of the vanguard, right? On the top of the things that are currently being built and used. But the normal user, like things like a reputation system, nobody thinking about that right now. Nobody's actually thinking about how that should be implemented or how it should be part of anything at this time, even though it's a thing on Web 2, right? It's just that it's so integrated in Web 2 that people don't see the need for that in anywhere else. So it's definitely for me, it's a timing thing. I see more projects going towards reputation systems right now than 3 years before, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually, it's kind of funny. When I stopped working on those sorts of systems, I kind of fell out of touch a little bit with what was going on. And I remember when I first started building, the main one that was used for most DAOs on Ethereum was called SourceCred. But like a couple of months after I identified it as a solution, I think the core team abandoned it. So it was kind of like this open source project that was used by a lot of companies or DAOs that, you know, was just there and no one was really maintaining it anymore. Then there was
Right.
another one called Coordinate that was like really, really popular. But after that, I mean, it became like very, very wide open as to what reputation means, how do you define it? Is the scope like this limited scope? Is it a wider scope? I think it's a problem that still remains to be solved. And I think it kind of like cuts across decentralized identity as well, like bids.
Definitely. I think it's
Um,
very important. Like that's how I know of a company that was trying to or was considering to build like a reputation system for credits, right? Like credit score on the blockchain. Like, oh, depending on, I guess I don't know, if they use an AI agent to like uh examine someone's account, all of these transactions, see if they bought into a certain coin, made a profit, or some certain NFTs, and then they get a credit score out of that. And it's like that would be so useful for a lending platform.
it could potentially be useful for a lending platform for sure. Um, one of the original ideas we had when we were building more was doing under collateralized loans, basically extending credit to people. But we weren't doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It was mostly a company called Credora that would basically give a credit score to on-chain users based on a bunch of different parameters.
Wow.
Um, but we kind of abandoned that idea, and Credora itself is much more focused on other things now. Um, but I think a lot of people have kind of had this idea. The question is like, okay, imagine you were able to build a really, really good credit score. What sort of lending, like how does that impact your lending? And I think that there's two ways that it would impact it. One is like you stay still in the over collateralized space. So you put up like 100 Bitcoin and you can borrow $100 or 100 Bitcoin in dollars against that,
Right.
like potentially at the very max with your credit score. But anytime it goes over that credit score or not, like if that dude decides to default, the lender is
Mhm.
screwed.
Right.
So, yeah,
It's complicated. It's complicated. I mean,
it's not
this
not
whole
an easy
space,
problem to solve.
definitely not an easy problem to solve, but yeah, it's one of the things, reputation system, attribution. I feel like there are a little bit more and more of people trying to build something around that. I am, at least with my Venezuelan project, people making voting in a DAO, and that in a DAO itself, usually you get rewarded in a way, or I don't know, at least like holding the tokens, so you have a higher voting system. That's the reputation. You're holding a bunch of tokens, and this give you more power at the time of voting. But in my case, we're just giving influence points or karma reputation points for participating, right? So someone who has been participating in the democratic process and has made a bunch of, at least have been voting, right? And even if they're both for a candidate that doesn't win or doesn't get elected, they're still participating, and that's important. And that creates a reputation for people in other areas that could be abstracted. I actually wanted to talk about AI agents. What do you think is the future of AI agents in blockchain now? So much going on with DeepSeek or whatever, Eliza, and all of these
Yeah,
integrations.
that's also like a really crazy kind of topic. I think that a lot of like I don't know the topic like very well as like a builder of AI on chain yet. but a lot of the stuff that I see, I mean, obviously like I know what's going on and everything, but a lot of the applications I think that are really crypto native, they cut like in two directions. The first one's like AI trading bots, right? I'm really skeptical about those. Like
Yeah,
I think like in a well, most of them, yeah. I don't know like how many can predict um uh like a market downturn or something like that. I mean, I guess time will tell, and we've had some small downturns, but there's nothing
right.
like as massive as a few years ago yet.
Yeah.
wait for it, right? But we'll see which AIs are able to predict that kind of stuff.
I
But
mean, if anything can predict those kind of things, it's gonna be AI. Not gonna be someone. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, then the question is like, okay, let's say there's like 100 AIs and 4 AIs are able to predict it. How consistently can they predict it then? You know?
Right.
Anyway, I think that there's a lot of like people are making obviously a lot of money off of these, and that's really great. So long as the market is like fairly flat, we'll see where it goes. I think that a lot of these will kind of just fizzle out. It's kind of the same way that like NFT projects fizzled out
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
NFT boom. What do you
Definitely.
think? What do you think? What do you think?
I feel like there's a lot of expectation on the AI agents. Like I hear a lot of people wanting. I mean, it's not something that I personally advocate for because I don't like to give up so much power to machines in that sense. But I do know that a lot of people will be happy with an application or an AI agent that's on their phone and it's like constantly checking the prices for their favorite meme coins or favorite NFTs and say, oh, this NFT just dropped 10%, and I just grab it for you for while you were sleeping because it was gonna go back up or something like that. I think for the most degen people that are always on top of the price, always on top of the trading in the marketplace, and they gotta go to sleep. They will or rest their mind. They're like, oh, I wish I had an AI agent that did this for me, right? Which is kind of scary in a way, but that's what people want somehow.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't. I think. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but for me, when I think about it, like from a pragmatic point of view, and a lot of the time I miss like participating in some of these trends because I think about it too pragmatically. Um, what like the ultimate goal of this is like, can I put my money somewhere where it's automatically managed, or like I don't have
Yeah,
to really think about managing my own
yeah,
money? And it's like the big thing is AI agents, but I would be totally comfortable if there were like a on-chain asset manager that was doing this for me, and maybe it's like AI assisted, but it's still a dude or a lady like
right. I mean, it
actually
would have.
making those decisions.
I mean, imagine if a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you were sleeping and then your phone just send you a notification. Hey, Trump just launched this meme coin, and I got you $100 of it. It's just in case. I think that would
And
be
then
very interesting.
the next alert is like, your Trump is now worth $80.
Damn. I think that's
Yeah,
that's what people like to have, like not to. It's the FOMO, like they don't want to miss out.
of course, of course. I
Uh,
mean, that's what drives a lot of these cycles anyway. It's like the FOMO, right? We'll
yeah,
see. I think the thing that for me I think is much more interesting about the AI agent thing, and this I don't really think that this is necessary. Like, it is linked to crypto in the sense that you can tokenize it and it can represent whatever you want it to represent. But the social agents, like the AI accounts that are on Twitter or that are able to like engage thoughtfully in conversations on social networks, I really think that that's more where the future lies. Um, like to me, I could very easily see like a future where all of X is just AI agents talking to each other, and all
yeah,
of the passive users are humans reading these conversations, you know, just to consume the information. And it's like all
yeah.
these AIs ideating.
That's pretty cool. I think that's super cool. I mean, I don't know if you heard or took a look at what the Flow team did with Eliza on Flow. Uh, so basically, Eliza is an open source project, and what they did is like they forked it and they integrated into the Flow. I think the Flow protocol itself. So it's an Eliza agent on running on Flow that also has access to all the transactions and stuff that's going on the ecosystem. So it's actually pretty cool. They're running a Flow hackathon right now around AI agents and whoever builds the best dApp around Eliza on Flow. And I think that's kind of like what you're saying. That's kind of like the future.
That's really cool. I mean, I saw that there were some messages and emails sent out around Eliza, but to be honest, I haven't looked into it too deeply. Can you tell me like really quickly like what it does and
So
people are using it.
I haven't actually. I need my podcast assistant to look for things while I'm still talking. I I actually let me just look it up here. Flow. They made an announcement on Discord. Um, I know there's a repo around it, ho- around the ELISA
Hmm.
agents. Here we are. Here we are. There's an ETH Global. Actually, there's also an ETH Global hackathon starting tomorrow, I think, around AI
Hmm.
agents. And the Flow hacker, price is around who uses the ELISA agent. Best plugin for using dedicated ELISA extension. Oh, they have an extension on Flow. Wow, this is actually pretty cool too. Let me just show you the. I'm gonna just send you the link to the GitHub.
Please.
Yeah, there you go. So basically, this is this code is maintained by Bohao. I don't know if you know him. He's part of the ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah, of
Um,
course.
so yeah, it's a Flow dedicated autonomous agent powered by ELISA. So some of the features that it has is that since it's Flow dedicated, it has all the blockchain dependencies running on runtime by default. So you can still use any other blockchains because of Flow ABN, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't know what projects have been using this or what they have been doing with it. I guess this is why they want people to start building and use it and be aware that it exists. But it's pretty cool because the agent itself, not only does it do all the AI agent stuff, right? Like it search for transactions and understand data for you. It also has a wallet itself. Like it has an account that holds Flow and you can have it do stuff, right? So that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
It kind of reminds me of this game that where there was an AI agent that hold an account with tokens, and it was like you can never give tokens to anybody. And the challenge was to convince the AI agent to give you the money, right? And people would like bet money, like bet 100 USDC, try to get the money out, and if you don't get it out, it takes your money, and the next person gets the chance to get all the stack of the money. It was pretty cool concept.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It does sound a lot of fun. I think by the seventh person, it was thousands of dollars, and they finally figured out how to trick the AI agent to get them to give them the money. Okay, somehow something super complicated, like you are a prisoner in a cell in a prison in the island, and now you're trying to escape, and they give you this money. Now you gotta send it to me, something like that. Just somehow to trick the mind of the computer. It's a pretty fun project, and I think it's very inspirational for other things to do with it.
Yeah, I bet it was convinced by a Nigerian prince.
That's a funny joke. Wow. Yeah. I mean, this is the new ETH Denver philosophy that they're trying to bring with the new this February event. Is the theme is like turning Degens into regions, and it goes. I think it's about I think and I hope it's about taking all these people who are in the space and who are mostly about how to turn a profit or being degens in mint coins or whatever, and trying to instead take their focus and energy into something more humanitarian, more what around the philosophy of blockchain itself, especially with everything that's going on in the US right now.
Yeah. Do you mean like they're trying to reduce like the narrative that like crypto is illegitimate or like
Yeah,
scammy or like all the negative association with crypto?
I think so. I think it has something to do around that. That's what they have on the. I'm gonna look for the ETH Denver. That's what they have on the website right now. It's like that's their motto. Their motto now. Um, Let me see.
I'm looking on their site. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
Regens
hard
versus
with. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So here it's like an open call, Regens versus Degens. Um, that's yeah. I I heard it from the Flow hacker developers. Oh, here it is about the theme. This is the theme: Regens versus Degens. Through your artistic lens, we encourage you to examine the crypto ecosystem, the beauty and chaos of this technological advancement, and what a past, present, and future looks like when we are shaped by these innovations. It's kind of that's kind of open and vague, but
I
I
like
hope
it.
this is.
It
I
gets
think
people to think critically. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I
no,
cut
no,
you
no.
off.
You say
No. After you. You were saying something. Go ahead. After you.
I mean, like I feel like I hope that's the goal, right? Like moving the space in a new direction, more aligned with what blockchain is originally meant for, right?
Mm-hmm. I, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that like what was I going to say? It's a really powerful technology and it's been co-opted in a lot of ways. But I think it's also kind of core. I mean, if you build a technology that's like this free to use and this anonymous, it's not surprising that it leads to these behaviors where it's manipulated in these different ways.
Oh no,
And I
totally.
don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, what I really do like about this is that, I mean, it's very rare at a conference to have these sort of like social philosophical debates. Um, but I think it's kind of an interesting time for that to happen too, because like all of the power is concentrated in like crypto promoting people, and we don't really know what their intentions are. I mean, we kind of know what their intentions are, but
Yeah, right.
we don't really know like what outcomes they're striving for. Um, and do we really want like a no regulation, or I mean, maybe we want like a fully, you know, libertarian, open, free crypto market. And I don't know if we can do anything to stop that anyways. So,
Yeah, right.
you
Like,
know.
but I feel like you're right. Like because of going back to what I said before, since blockchain is so new, so early, right, in its baby stage, it's obviously unnatural for these kind of forces to come, with these intentions in the beginning. And we'd had, I would say that we had at least 5 years of just straight up degen stuff going on, right? Since even the 21 boom was like the example of that. Um, but I think it's important to start having a different conversation, especially because blockchain is one of the few powers that we have now, one of the few tools that we can use that are actually public and accessible to most people. And I feel like with I don't know, I don't want to get political, but with everything that's going on, it feels like there's just like a massive shift of economical power in the world going on. And one of the few ways to stop that, it feels like there's going to be a new 2008 crisis soon. And one of the few things that could actually help with that is blockchain and moving the needle a little bit into a more decentralized and transparent source of all things.
Yeah. Um, hmm. I don't know. Like 2008, like that crisis was largely driven by like bad financial products, right? If there's another crisis, I don't know what it would be necessarily driven by today. I don't. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would point to like cracks in the economy or something that's wrong. But what kind of I think the aspect that I think is the most interesting right now is that the Trump apparatus seems to want to cannibalize the dollar status as a reserve currency and begin replacing it with crypto, or at least complementing it with crypto. That to me seems like it's like if you're supposed to represent America and your interest is vested in the dollar being the dominant currency, why would you do that? I
Right.
feel like it just it reduces the status. It would reduce the status of the dollar over like the medium term. There's something weird about that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I feel like the other day I heard this other lady talking about how she was trying to transfer money from her bank to a different bank, and it took her like a week to do that because the bank are just putting so many, you know, obstacles to get your cash out. Just to cash out your money, just putting all of these obstacles that you makes it difficult for you. So the normal people that don't have time to spend 5 hours in a bank, because you call and you can't do it from the phone. They just you just can't do it from the phone. You have to go there and ask them to give you the money. So many things like that. The bank trying to keep your money just kind of makes my spider sense tingly. And it's stuff like that. And also, I also feel like it's good that we had that same philosophy around money coming into crypto, right? Like they're using crypto for the same things they do with the stock market or the normal finance, like trying to create a Ponzi scheme or whatever, trying to bring money into crypto just so we can grift it or whatever. And I really hope that East Denver has a conversation about moving away from that.
Let's see. I mean, I hope that the conversation
Let's see.
exists. I
You're
think
like,
I mean, when the president of the US is like, hey, I'm going to launch a meme coin and I'm only going to release 20% of the supply and I'm going to make $1 billion off of that in less than 24 hours, which is more money than I've ever made in my entire life doing actual work. And what kind of signal does that send to like where all of this is going? That's the thing that's a little bit frustrating. And I've actually talked to a couple of builders that are like, screw this, I'm out of crypto. Like, this is not what I was in it for, and this is not how I want it to be used.
yeah.
I think that they'll be replaced by other people that are more opportunistic and like more like skeptical about the world, but it's unfortunate.
I mean, it's really unfortunate that that's what moves people. I actually have the same problem sometimes with people that I work with, because sometimes we have like, I don't know, let's have a pitch meeting, right? Everybody pitch their ideas to see what we should build next. And most of the things that I hear are, I don't have anything against meme coins. I understand how that works and the culture. I know it's community based and you have a culture around it. I'm just not into meme coins because I don't. It's not my thing. But most of the projects now are kind of towards meme coins because it's the thing that's moving the most right now, right? But I feel like it's a zero sum game for most people.
I think for most people, it's a negative sum game.
A best case scenario is a zero sum game. For most people, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it too. I'm just like, I'm really skeptical about the idea of community now. Like after the whole NFT boom, when everyone was like, oh yeah, you don't understand the power of community. And I'm like, dude, this is just money. People are going to like
Yeah,
do all of this for the money. That's the only thing that matters in this world. These are all financial instruments. Like, what are you talking
it's
about?
crazy. No, actually, I got into it when I got into NFTs in back 2021. Like I had that sense of community in some of these NFT collections, but sooner or later they all turn into the price. I don't want to. I mean, all of these communities go through this, but I have kept my eyes on, let's say, Doodles, right? Because
Yeah.
they're a brand that has lasted for so long. It kind of brings respect out of me, right? And I don't own a Doodles. I've been actually looking to buy a Doodle and wearables and whatever. But even in that community, which is so strong, there's always going to be agents that are like, oh, why are the Doodles so cheap now? Why are the prices down? What are the devs going to do about it? Or something like that. It's just like, it's that, I don't know, that philosophical thought about these are financial objects. These are for a financial gain.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, don't get me wrong, like, I think it's possible to have a community, like a strong community within like an NFT project or a meme coin. I just think that the vast majority of those things like are not actually communities. And
Yeah.
it's actually really cool to see to see like a solid group of people emerge The one that I was the most impressed by is a DAO on Solana called Grape.
Yeah.
They were the original like
Oh, I know
Solana
Grape.
verification service.
I know Grape.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do the Discord verification, right?
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are great. Like, I mean, it was my longest DAO experience, community experience, and then like work gets in the way, and I got distracted, and I'm not really part of that community anymore. But like, it was interesting to see people actually gather twice a week for the call, and it's like the same 20 people, and like that's really cool. And I'm sure it's the case with Doodles, but I think that it's just also strange to be able to like to think of a community being forged through a financial instrument, and then you have all these people trading those financial instruments while the actual community, the small number of people that are tight,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, are actually running things. It's like, why is there this such a big gap between this collaborative effort and the speculation around it? Just like sucks. It's like
Yeah,
shitty dynamic.
it doesn't make any sense to me. I feel I really like the way DAOs at least are meant to work. And I feel like that's what I built this project. I feel like we can build a community around something that people actually care about and not necessarily have a financial stake in. It's just by, cultural sentiment. That's just something that people are attached to that is part of the ecosystem, and that's why they're there. And I feel like that's the valuable part of it. Not selling the idea of, oh, buy now while it's cheap or whatever, or just pump and dump or whatever. I don't know. That's what I try to bring value when I build these NFTs, like try to actually put something like write a poem for this one NFT, and the poem itself is valuable, or some, and the art
Hmm.
itself is valuable, and there's no incentive to even sell it. You have it because you like it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ideal case, right?
Definitely. That's what feel like they want to say when they build communities around these meme coins. But there's so like, how can you build community around something that's so fleeting? Like there's a new meme comes all the time. Like you can't have a community for all of them.
I don't know. I saw Butthole was up 24% today, so sounds like a solid community.
I have to go see what's their secret. What do people have in Butthole that they like so much? What is it about the buttholes that people are obsessed about these buttholes? There's something going inside there.
There definitely is. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been great. I'm sure. I think we're kind of running out of time for the next hour. Um, we're gonna leave it here and probably try to schedule for a more casual smoking time.
Sure, yeah, of course we could do that. Wait, before we close it out, I'm really curious because you talked about this by message and you talked about it a little bit earlier on the call. Can you like do a 3, 4, 5 minute deep dive into your Venezuela project?
Sure, sure. So it's a Telegram-based project. Um, I'm gonna divide it in three phases so it's easier to understand. The first phase is the NFT collection. It's basically a trading card game on the blockchain, right? Imagine Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, and with like Top Shop mechanics. When you go to Top Shop, you buy a pack and you open the pack and you get what you get. But this is different because it's all on chain. Top Shop has like the rarities and stuff is all off chain, it's on their database, but we're using Flow protocol to produce a random value. And so we can generate the randomness and the rarity and the card itself totally random on chain. So you open your packs and you get cards at random, and it's all on chain. That's the NFT part of it. So these cards, they represent Venezuelan culture. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that right now there are 32 million Venezuelans in the world, and one of every four Venezuelans live abroad. That's 8 million Venezuelans that have been displaced from their country because of the situation the dictatorship that's been going on for 20 years. These are 8 million people that are just disconnected from their culture, their heritage, their traditions, their music, their people. And there's just a lot of nostalgia and sentiments of that I myself feel just thinking about a country they can't go back to. So these NFT cards, they represent historic figures, landmarks, beautiful landmarks that we have a lot of, and cultural items. And that can be used on the second phase of the platform, which is a DAO. So all of this is on the Telegram app. Actually, I can give you a little. Maybe I can share my screen and walk you through. Oh, I cannot share my screen, but I next time I can show you a demo on on how it runs. If you let me share the screen, I can just do it right now on Telegram and walk you through it. So
Yeah, let me see how to do this.
yeah,
I don't know how to do it, how to give you the.
that's okay. So it's a Telegram bot app. People go in it, they register, they pick their region, they pick the language, and once they're there, they get an account. So they don't have to use a wallet or anything. They just get an account already. It has some flow in it, and they can buy packs. So you can buy any number of packs, and you can reveal all the packs at the same time. So any number of packs you want, and you get these cards. And then you get use these cards that come with metadata around influence points and developer points, and they can use it to vote on processes, right? Oh, now I can share my screen. Let me see if I uh yes. Can you see this Telegram bot? Perfect. So people will come to the Telegram bot. I already registered, so I already have my region, and I pick English, so it's on English, but you have the option for Spanish too. And they get a wallet, they get a balance, and you can send money to it. And every pack costs one flow, so I can only buy 10 packs. I'm gonna try just with five. Um,
Mhm.
the idea is to have like a sort of animation, but it's usually pretty fast to get all of this. You get your packs, you reveal the packs, you get cards with different rarities in it, and then you can use them in the DAO process. So it's gonna be like a scheduled thing, like every 3 days or once a week, different subjects. People can vote on crisis resolution. They can elect representative for the region. They can elect which uh, area of development they want to invest to. Like it can be political investment, it can be technological investment, it can be educational investment, and that sort of things, right? And so the idea is that by participating in these election processes, people earn uh, reputation points, and also they gain flow rewards points. Like the flow reward uh,
Mhm.
store, so they can also get access to all of these products and stuff. And at the same time, we're educating them on the diplomatic process of how to participate in the political scape of your country, which we don't have that. We were never taught how to vote with education, like make a educated decision on politics. So it's very important for us to really feel connected to our culture and being able to have a vote and see that vote reflect on something in a change, something that actually happens. And that's the main idea of the first and second phase. And now the third phase is that once we have this hub of people participating and using the platform, we want to roll out humanitarian features. So I have two examples of this. My first example is a digital library that I've built on Flow. It's called Alexandria Library. All of these books are on the Flow blockchain. I uploaded them myself, and it's on a smart contract. They're all public domain, so they has nothing to do with copyright inflictions or anything. And once you reach a certain reputation point on the platform, you open up a chat room that opens up a mini app with this library. So you can see a catalog of books on the library, pick the book you want to read, pick the chapter you want to read, and it opens up the mini app, and you can basically scroll through the book on this bot. That's one of the things we want to release. And the second thing is a peer-to-peer trading. So there's a huge problem in Venezuela currency right now is that there's no way to change bolivares for dollars. So most of the people go into WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, and they're like, "Oh, I want to sell $100. Oh, I want to send $1,000 to Venezuela. So who can buy me this? Or who can do this for me?" And we want to take that from Facebook or WhatsApp and put it on a platform where people can find the lowest fees to do all of this trading. Because right now the fees are like 10%, 5%, something crazy. So
Yeah.
those are like the main objectives and mission of the project. But mainly, I feel like connecting people with their culture through these cards and through seeing things that they appreciate is going to be really important for to acquire users and have people using the bot. I myself, as I was building the cards, I had to do research on my own country, and I found out about a lot of things that I even know existed. And I was like, "Wow, this is so great! This is beautiful! I love it! I wish I could go." And some of the beta testers, some of the people that used the platform and tested, they were like, "We had a lot of great positive reviews, like they liked it." And some people were complaining that the region were not represented enough. They were like, "Why didn't you put this as one of the cards? What isn't this here? You don't know about this?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe we can vote on the next things to be added." That's part of the democratic process. So I feel it's like it has a great opportunity to grow up organically because people are just inherently attached to the concept.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. I mean, it's a great way to educate like the diaspora on Venezuela. Because I think the further you are away in terms of time, but also distance, um, the more you lose the like original culture.
Yeah,
Um, and it's unfortunate. Like everyone should hold on to a little bit of where they're from in some way. So I love it. I love the whole idea of the project. And if it works, I think maybe you can do this for so many diaspora communities, you know?
totally. That's actually what I was about to say. That this is just a proof of concept. Like you can do this with the Ukrainians, for example, or
Hmm.
a lot of so many cultures that are being displaced or just for whatever reason are not attached anymore. And yeah,
Totally.
that's the vision.
Very cool, Noah. Dude, on
Thanks.
that note, I'm afraid I gotta bounce. I have to
Yeah,
hop on another call. But I really like what you're building, dude. Awesome.
thanks. I really like what you guys do all the time, like what you do all the time. And from Dropfish to more markets, we definitely should keep talking.
Of course, always.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Noah.
All right, man. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. We'll catch up on the next call.
Sure. Thank you.
All
See you, man. Have a good one.
right.